Good morning. Good morning. Just gonna move that back there so it ain't buzzing in my ear. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am back again this morning, and we are on day two. We are on day two of setting goals that align with our vision. Um, for those that know me and those that don't, I am your girl Tawanda, Coach Tawanda. I'm a certified and called personal development and goals coach. I am an author, and I am the host of Talk. I'm sorry, I'm the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. You can find me on YouTube and Spotify. I was just tripping over my words. Like, it's not like I didn't know who I was. Forgive me, it's early. And where I am up early all the time, I have been just a tad bit under the weather. So charge it to my head, not my heart. Okay. So to make that clear, I am Tawanda. I'm Coach Tawanda. I am a personal development and goals coach. I am called and certified. I am an author, and I am the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. You can catch me on Spotify, or you can catch me on YouTube. Above all those things, guess what, y'all? I am human before I am anything else. So, for you that have followed the last few weeks, I started out talking about mindset. So it's just building up. If you just stay with me, you'll see where we're going. So I talked about mindset throughout the last few weeks because I think it's important for us to set our minds when we're wanting to set goals or really see ourselves in a different position in life. So this week we will be talking about vision and goals. And yeah, I'm excited. So today is day two of our 5-day goal and vision coaching series. Yesterday we talked about the power of vision, how your vision is like your GPS. You have to see it before you see it. You have to see it before you see it. I briefly talked about a moment that a friend of mine, she was visiting at my house, and I was in the room in my bed laying down, and she said, her and my daughter came to the door. It's like, you in your sleep? I said, no, I'm not asleep. I'm manifesting. And they thought it was the funniest thing. And she said, what do you mean manifesting? I said, I'm visioning. I want to think it was 5,000, between $2,500, $5,000. I want to think it was $5,000. But I was like, I want to, I need, it was $5,000 actually. I said, I'm visioning myself receiving $5,000. I really need $5,000. I have some things I want to take care of or whatever. So I need $5,000. And she thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So she was there for a few days, maybe like a week or so. And maybe like a week, I think. But so she was there and she saw how I think the first payment came like 2 days or so afterwards. But she saw throughout the time in her visit there that I actually got that which I wanted. But I actually took the time, like I was visioning that thing, y'all. I didn't know where it was coming from, when it was coming, who it was coming through, or whatever. I just saw myself receiving $5,000. I saw myself receiving what I wanted, and I laid and visualized it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Is that Shan? I hope I said that right. It's some more in there, and I don't want to jack it up because I jack a name up, and I don't want to mess it up this morning. So I'm hoping I just said at least got that part correct. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So anyway, she thought it was funny because she said, you look like you was asleep. I said, yeah, I look like I was asleep, but no, I'm actually manifesting $5,000. I need $5,000. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful. And so she saw within those few days how the $5,000 came. Now I didn't know, like I say, I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know when it was coming. I just knew that I needed $5,000. So what I did was I sat and I visualized myself receiving the $5,000, and she got an opportunity to see it in action. And let me tell you, I do it all the time, and that's why I am I'm on this whole goals and vision boards and all the things because I do know and get to see when I really set my intentions, when I really set my mind on what it is that I want to achieve, I can actually do it. Now, if I'm not achieving what I really want, it's because I'm not really aligning myself to be able to receive it. So we just have to be mindful. So yesterday, we talked about our vision is a GPS, right? So when you think about a GPS, you have to put in a destination in order to get somewhere, right? So being that we know that today, we're going to take this thing a little bit farther, right? We are going to, I'm sorry, I was trying to, okay, we're going to take this thing a little bit farther. So let's say that your vision is to take a trip to Jamaica. I want to use Jamaica because next year around this time, I want to be talking to y'all from Jamaica. So one of my goals is to take a trip to Jamaica. Now you may have different goals. Yesterday you were different vision. Yesterday, the goal for yesterday or the assignment for yesterday was to vision. What was it that you wanted to do? Just get one thing that you wanted to see yourself doing within this next year. And where I have many things on my list, I thought it was cool to start with the fun thing, right? We're going to start with the fun stuff, right? And that was a trip to Jamaica. That's the destination. That's the vision. The vision is Jamaica. So you can dream about the beach, the palm trees, the sunshine, and all the rest, the margaritas on the beach, all that stuff. But if you don't book a flight, pack a bag, leave home, you'll never experience it. With our vision, you can want to build a business, have all the income and all the clout or whatever it is, the goal or the vision for you wanting to build a business, whatever that thing does for you, you can see yourself, you can see your clients, you can see, but if you don't actually put the plan together, if you don't actually put a business plan together, if you don't actually map out what the business is going to be, put a name to it or any of that, then you'll never experience it. So today, we're going to talk about how to turn that dream trip, that vision, that desire into real actionable steps. So join me because remember this. Vision is the what, goals are the how, and faith is the fuel that get you where you want to go. Okay? So if vision is the destination, goals are the direction. You follow me? Your vision is the destination. Goals are the direction. So let's say we're going to go to Jamaica because that's one of my goals. So I'm going to give y'all one of my goals and I'm going to give y'all the steps that I am going to take to actually achieve that goal. So I want to go to Jamaica, right? That's the vision. When your vision say, like you say you want to go to Jamaica, like I want to go to Jamaica, that's just the dream, right? That's the picture. That's what I see. That's what I want. But goals say, okay, first I need to get a passport. I need to buy a ticket. I need to schedule time off from work. Then I need to pack my bags. Now I do have a passport, so I am already in the game, right? This vision and this trip to Jamaica, I have decided that without having all the funds right now for this trip, not wanting to use credit, all those things, but not having all the funds for this trip to Jamaica, I still want to go to Jamaica because that's the vision. The vision is not saying like I have all the pieces, so this is what I want to do. The vision is like, this is what I want to do. Now I have to figure out how to get all the pieces, right? Every step brings you closer to that vision. So every step you take, every little thing that you take, once you put the goal in place, brings you closer to the vision. Many people say, I want to go somewhere new, but they never plan the route. You want to go somewhere, but you're not planning that. I want to go to Jamaica, so I'm going to plan it. I'll see y'all in Jamaica next year. That's the vision. The vision for me is Jamaica. I don't know what your vision is. That was your assignment yesterday. Is to vision. What was it? What's that one thing that you wanted to see? So a lot of us, as I say, we want to go somewhere, but we don't plan the route. We don't put things in place. We never move from wishful thinking to intentional doing. It is a difference between wishfully thinking something and actually intentionally doing it. So when you actually think, like we said yesterday, the vision was whatever it was for you. For me, out of all the things that I have, we're going to go to Jamaica because that's something that I know if I actually set my mind to it now and start planning it, yes, next year I could be in Jamaica. It just is what it is. Sometimes we sit in places and spaces, and because we've not experienced something or we've not done anything, we don't think it's possible. We look at our finances and our resources now, and we don't think it's possible. Well, I think a lot is possible. If I set my mind to it, good morning, Anthony. If I set my mind to it, if I set the intentions and say, this is what I want to do, the only thing left for me to do is put a plan together. And if I put a plan together, then I'm going to do it. When I had the vision of writing a book, I put a plan together. I followed the steps and I became a best-selling author. When I had the plans or the mindset to say, you know what, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to be an entrepreneur. That's the space that I want to be in. I want to coach and I have these things that I want to do. When I set my mind, I put a plan in place and I don't work a 9 to 5. My days come easy. The way I want my days set up. And there's some moments things don't move on that particular day the way I would like them to. But however, it's all in motion. It is okay. I'm not going to get discouraged in that moment because, again, I see that's just like running into traffic on your way to your trip. You run into traffic. That don't mean you're not going to make it to the trip. It just means you're going to be a little bit delayed. So either you have to reroute or you just have to sit there and patiently wait until the traffic clear up. I'm just saying that's it. So again, what we're going to do is, we are going to plan this trip, and none matter the roadblocks, the traffic, or anything. We're going to stay focused because our vision is to go to Jamaica, right? So we're going to Jamaica. So if you have a moment, I want you to take a pen and paper and write this down. Now, I may, for you that know, for you that don't know, when you watch this, when it come across your path or whatever, there should be a link in my bio. And you could click that link to my link tree and you will see some resources. So the things that I talk about, coach about, I do have resources to give out to help walk you through those steps. As well as you can click the link in my bio, book a call with me, and then we can talk about some things and get you on the right path. So again, we're going to Jamaica, right? We're going to Jamaica. We ain't got the money right now, but we are going to Jamaica. How do we get to Jamaica? We're going to set goals. So yesterday we visioned that we want to go to, well, I don't know what y'all vision, but one of my visions is I want to go to Jamaica. It's not about having all the money now. And that's just how goals are. That's how vision is. That's how we form this thing. Sometimes we can think of, there may be somebody that's thinking like, I want to go to Jamaica, but ooh, what it costs. And they think about all the gifts of getting there, but I don't care how much it costs. If I want to go, all I have to do is set a plan and set a goal in place to actually go. So now let's talk about how we create the goals that actually get the results using the SMART goal method. I didn't know about the SMART goal method until I knew about the SMART goal method. And it changed my life on how I actually set goals. So again, when I wanted to become an author, I set the goals. I'm a self-published, not only a self-published author, but a self-published best-selling author. When I wanted to get out of the 9 to 5 and work for myself, guess what? I did it. When I wanted to pay off cars, I did it. When I wanted to do things that seemed to be impossible, where I didn't have all the finances or resources in that moment, I still was able to achieve it. And the SMART goal method really made a big difference because it allowed me to stay grounded. So let's go ahead and jump into them. For those that don't know, for those that do, hey, you already got the information. But if you don't know, we're going to let you know here. So what I do when I set my goals, because we are going to Jamaica, right? So if you haven't been to Jamaica and Jamaica is on your list, you might want to go ahead and get this information so that you can go to Jamaica, because I'll be going to Jamaica next year. I'm just saying. So we want to be specific. The SMART goals, we want to be specific. We just can't say, I want to go somewhere nice. Okay, there's plenty of nice places you can go. I mean, me saying I want to go somewhere nice, I have a whole room in there. I can just go in there and sit in if I want to go somewhere nice. But no, you have to say, I want to go to Jamaica. I'm going to Jamaica. You have to be clear. You have to be intentional. Be specific. What is it that you really want to do? So yesterday when we talked about the vision, what was it that you really wanted to do? One of my visions from yesterday was, I want to go to Jamaica. I'm going to Jamaica. So then we're going to be specific. We're going to be specific and say, we want to go to Jamaica. It is not impossible to go to Jamaica. I'm telling you, it's not impossible. I want to do 1 or 2 cruises a year. I get to do 1 or 2 cruises a year. And I don't do it on credit. I actually do it because I set goals, I set my intentions, and I know what it is that I want. And we can credit everything paid for, everything's taken care of. So that's what we're going to do, right? So then it's measurable. How do I know that I'm getting closer to that goal? Maybe I'll save $500 towards the trip and or finish the steps of one of the goals, because there's many goals to it. We got to get a passport. We got to look at flights. We got to look at rooms. There's things that have to be done. So once I put that budget in place, which we will talk more about that on tomorrow, but once I put that in place, the progress that's the progress, and it's measurable. I can measure and say, okay, I'm going to Jamaica. I've already said I'm going to Jamaica, right? So if I'm going to Jamaica, how did I, as I'm going through the motions of it, as I'm planning it, how would I know it's measurable? How would I look at it, and can I look at it and tell that I'm getting closer to that goal? And then we want to make it good morning, B. Good morning. I wonder why it's not showing. Okay, now it's lag. I guess a little lag. But anywho. So we want to make it. We going to Jamaica next year, B. So get ready, all right? Are you ready to go? I don't know why I keep looking over here. Y'all, when I'm looking over here, it's a whole nother screen that I got over here. So I have the picture over here, but my camera is right here, so I got to stay focused. I don't know why I be looking over here trying to look. You ready, B? So we going to Jamaica, and so again, we want to. So yesterday the vision was going to Jamaica. So today we want to put a plan together. We want to set goals so that we can actually achieve that, and we want to do it in a manner to where, okay, we don't have the finances for it today, but that don't mean that we cannot go. Right? I'm going to show you how we can go. So B, remember, we got some talking to do because we're going to Jamaica. Okay. I know I owe you a trip, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, achievable. Can you realistically make this trip happen in this season? Well, I'm gonna be honest. In this season, if I wanted to go in the wintertime right now, no, I'm not gonna say I'm not here to lie to you, pull your legs or whatever. Now I can pull it off if I really wanted to, but I'm not just gonna pull that off, right? So I'm planning it for a year. This time next year, I can be in Jamaica, right? If not this season, I can just plan smaller steps. What all it's going to do is make things a little bit less stressful. I give myself enough time to actually do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? To move closer to that goal. And then is it relevant? Does this goal align with your vision? So yesterday I said I want to go to Jamaica. I'm not going to be booking no flight to Alaska. I say I want to start a business. I'm not finna be out there looking for W-2 jobs, 9-to-5 jobs. I'm just not gonna do that. If I say I want to be an entrepreneur, I'm not gonna, my focus is not gonna be finding a job that leads me to working a 9-to-5, because that's just not what I do, right? And so if I say that I want to buy a house, I'm not going to spend my time just always looking for apartments, not planning, not, getting credit right. Like there are certain things that we say we want, but then we'll settle on something else because of fear or whatever the case may be. So we want to be relevant. According to your vision, what you set your mind on, the moves that you make, and when you start making plans, you're not going to set your vision and say, I want to go to Jamaica, but start making plans for Alaska. That's not aligned. It's not aligned with your purpose. You're not going to say, I want to be an entrepreneur, but then focus on getting 9-to-5s. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I want to buy a new car, but then you're looking at bicycles. It's not going to work. It's just that's not alignment, right? And then you want that thing to be time bound. You got to set a departure date. When do you want to do this thing by? So if I want to go to Jamaica next year, I need to go ahead and I need to set a date. I need to set a date because it's more realistic and I know exactly what I'm working towards. I know that I will actually succeed and accomplish that thing once that date is there and I'm on that flight going to Jamaica, right? So if you don't put a date on it, you'll keep saying one day I'll go, you know what I'm saying? One day I'll do it one day. I'm going to get there. I'm going to do it. But yet you're not setting a plan for it. Set a time so your dreams stay alive. If you don't set a time for it, it's not going to stay alive. It's going to die. It's just going to sit there. You can just think about it, but it's not going to go anywhere. So now that we have, let's go run it back. Now that we have yesterday set the vision, today we have our vision is our, we understand our vision is our destination and our goals are our direction. So we are going to set goals for the vision that we place that we have. Then too, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do set those goals by using the SMART goal method. Like I say, I never knew it until I knew it, and when I knew it, it makes a big difference in life. And so 3, we're going to go ahead and faith align our goals. Y'all can do it how y'all want to do it, but I know that it just works out better when faith is attached to it. It works out a whole lot better when faith is attached to it. Now, here's the part that changes everything: the faith alignment. Because faith says, I might not see how, but I believe I'm going to Jamaica anyway. Like I told you, I'm planning this trip now without having all the resources. I don't know. That's just like with life and planning goals or wanting the business and wanting the things and all the things. We go looking at, oh, I don't have enough for this, or I just don't know how this, because we've not done it before. It's new territory and all those things. So we get a little nervous. We get a little nervous because we have to see it before we see it. And also not just see it, but we also have to believe it. If you believe you can go to Jamaica, then you can go to Jamaica. But if you believe that you cannot go to Jamaica because of what it looks like now, then you ain't going to go to Jamaica. Faith aligned goals, they don't come for fear and comparison. I was having a conversation with someone, and they were speaking about someone else that we know, it was speaking about somebody else that we know that takes a lot of trips. Not to talk about anybody, everybody do it the way they do it. And it's always sporadically and always look like, like this person got it. But yeah, is it planned or is it just sporadic? So I'd rather go on a trip and it's all paid for. No, now I've done a trip and burnt up a credit card. Don't judge me, but I have. But now I do trips and I don't have credit cards. I'm not using credit cards to do them. So I'm not going to compare myself to the next person. The next person may go very, very often, but if they're using credit cards, of course they get to go often. But if I decide to say, okay, well, for whatever reason, I'm not going to use credit cards, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to do it with cash. I'm going to plan it out, which when I come back from my trip and when I go for my trip, I'm using exactly what I need because I planned it out to do that. So when we actually start, having fear and start comparing, seeing what somebody else doing, then we're going to go on and knock ourselves out the rank. We're going to mess things up for ourselves because we're looking at the wrong thing. We should just be focused on our vision. When you have the fear and the comparison, that comes from, like not really being aligned with purpose and peace and partnership with God. I think that God is the center of all things. Now, one may be saying, God got better things to do than to be trying to help you plan a trip to Jamaica. God said, put it on me. So even with that, because there's some things that I'm going to need him to step in on. There's some moments that I'm going to need him to help me in my faith if it seems a little shaky. There's going to be some moments where, things may come up because life happens. I don't care what it is, what day life is going to life at all times. We just going to go through that, right? And so there's going to be some moments where some things may come in place, and I'm just going to have some foundation. And my foundation and my root is going to always go back, Lord, could you help me through this season? Because at the end of the day, none matter how big or how small, he said, place our cares on him. I'm just saying, you go see it for yourself. That's me. That's just me. So in this case, say we don't have the money right now to have that trip. Don't rush to flight or compare your journey to everyone else. You may see somebody, how this person taking all these trips and this and that. God may have a layover or delay, but your destination hasn't changed. When I look at those situations and if I go look at somebody else and they using credit or that ain't even aligned with me. If I want to do it this way, or I have plans to do it a certain way, that's why we need to focus on what we're doing and not so much comparing our journey or our vision to someone else. Because sometimes we can look at, this person's business started first, this person, but we're different though. You know what I'm saying? I can look and say, I see coaches and I see this person and that person and they making this and they making that. But they don't have the journey that I have. They don't have to go through what I go through. They don't, the way we wasn't even sitting at the same table in the same room or the vicinity to say that to where our vision even the same. So sometimes we're comparing ourselves to other people, and for what? For what? So anyway, in this, we are gonna just compare ourselves to ourselves. What we gonna do, right? Sometimes faith is what fuels. It's the fuel that keeps us going when the GPS says recalculate. You know how you're going through and you try to get a little space or get in a little area and it's go recalculating. You're like, Lord, where am I gonna go? Please jump back up so I can know. See, that's where you're gonna need that faith to come in at, because there's gonna be some moments that the GPS gotta recalculate, but you gotta keep on going. And so that's what faith do. So those moments that unexpected expenses come, or trauma, whatever it is, life be life. And in those moments, we still want to go to Jamaica, right? We still want to go to Jamaica. We still want to start that business. We still want to buy that house. We still want to do that thing. We still want to have whatever it is. We still want to do that thing, but sometimes life get to life, and it can look a little delayed. It can be traffic delayed. It could be a wreck on the road. It could be something that seems to be in the way of that vision, but the vision still got to stay. So when those distractions come and things of that nature, that's why we need faith as a foundation, so we can keep ourselves in a position to understand that what that is, that thing that we believe that we want to do or that we're going to do, we actually do it. So again, just to reiterate before I go, because we're going to close this thing up. If you have followed me for the last few weeks, you would see that I actually started off talking about mindset. We're building up to something. I'm trying to show you something, right? I was actually talking about mindset, because when we're actually setting our goals, when we're actually moving forward in life, when we're actually, setting purpose to our life, when we're actually wanting to do something different, we have to have our mindset. We have to set our mindset. We have to be in a place to where we actually believe it. We have to remove some junk out of our mind and out of our hearts so that we can receive the thing that we're actually looking to receive. So we started this thing out a couple of weeks ago, and we was talking about mindset. We was shifting mindset. So if you're following me, you got to go back and you got to look at the videos before. Also, you'll see there's a link in my bio. You can go check out some resources that I have put together on some of those things. But what we was doing was setting the mind. Then after we set the mindset and shifted the mindset to believe that anything that, even the things that look impossible, is possible. Now we're in a space to where actually taking our vision, understanding our vision and putting goals to it. That's it. I am a personal development and goals coach. I am certified in call. I'm an author, and I am the host of Talks with Tawanda. Hey, Coach Tawanda. Hey. Okay, for y'all that didn't know me, now you know me. So again, now we went through the mindset. Now we cleared some things out, so we know exactly what we want now. Because yesterday we sat down, and our assignment yesterday was to vision. You know what I'm saying? What is it that we wanted? We wanted to we needed to understand there's power in vision. The vision is like the directions that you put into the GPS. You're trying to get somewhere. So the vision is the directions you will put into the GPS. So we getting everything set up so that we can get this GPS going, right? So today we was talking about aligning goals with our vision, right? So we talked about where we're going. We're going to Jamaica. I don't know what your vision was or your goals from yesterday. That was your assignment. That was what you needed to do. And today, being that yesterday, one of my goals was I want to go to Jamaica. Okay, so I'm going to go to Jamaica next year. So if I want to go to Jamaica, I can just say I want to go to Jamaica. But if I don't actually put some action steps with it, I ain't going to Jamaica, y'all. If I just say, oh, I want to go to Jamaica. Oh, it'd be nice over there in Jamaica. It'd be nice over there in Jamaica. Oh, look at that. That water pretty. Oh, look, so-and-so then went to Jamaica. You can go to Jamaica too. It ain't got nothing to do with what you have right now. You may not have the resources right now. Y'all, we ain't talking about that. For those that may sit and watch this, like, oh, I can't afford that. We're not talking about today. We're talking about making a plan. We going next year. We can go to Jamaica next year. All right. And so we also talked about it. We're going to remember the vision is the what. So what we're going to do, we're going to Jamaica. The goals are the how. What do we have to prepare to get there? We got to have a passport. We got to look at flights. We got to look at things so that we can actually put a plan in place. So there's things that when you make that list, So you're going to Jamaica. So when you make that list out, you're going to list out what all would it take or do you need to go to Jamaica. Again, we're not worrying about the money that we got right now. What do we need to go to Jamaica, right? And then we're going to have faith that's going to fuel it, because I want to go to Jamaica, and baby, this is a faith walk, because I'm going to have to see it before I actually see it. So me saying I want to go to Jamaica, knowing I ain't got the Jamaica money sitting in the bank and I'm not going to use credit to go to Jamaica, that is still faith. I'm going to have to walk in faith to actually get this done. And those that know me and those that don't, y'all already know how T worked and how God worked for T. I'm one of his favorites, so are you. So don't let yourself be exempt, because you can do it too. So we also talked about the vision is the destination, the goals are the direction. So we know we're going to Jamaica. Going to Jamaica, we know there's some things that we have to get, the passport and the tickets and all those things. When we know, and then we know we have to set goals. We're going to set SMART goals. Sorry, I'm stuttering, but hey, we're going to set SMART goals. We're going to be specific. We're not just going to say, oh, I want to go somewhere nice. We're going to say, I'm going to Jamaica. And we're not going to say, I want to go. We're saying, I'm going to Jamaica, because we're going to be clear and we're going to be intentional. But then we're going to make it measurable. How do I know I'm getting closer to this goal? So I've already got the numbers. I know that what I got to do, but there's some other work that we have to do as well. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. So what we're going to do, we're going to make it measurable. We're going to say, okay, I'll know that I'm getting closer when I've saved $500 towards the trip, or I got the information and got the passport, or whatever the thing is, because you know your goals. I'm not going to do it for you. I got to do my own, so you do yours. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And if you still have troubles with doing yours, go ahead and click the link in the bio, right? There's a link in the bio where you can reach out and I can help you put those things together. I'm just saying, right? Then it's going to be achievable. Can you realistically make it happen this season? Be honest with yourself. Who this is about you. So ain't nobody else here to judge. Ain't nobody else here that they don't care. It ain't their business. Whether what you got going on, ain't nobody even got to know but you. I'm just saying. So is it achievable? And if it's not achievable to do it this season, then plan a little smaller. I have boards in my house for 5-year goals. Then those things are broken down, because when I look at it and I look at the cost that is the cost that comes with it, whether there's time or whatever the case may be, I'm okay with saying, okay, with 5 years, this is where I want to see my life. So before, it don't matter what you think or what they think about what it looks like now, because it's a bigger picture in place. So the little things that I'm doing now will actually equate to the big things that I'm looking forward to later. So it all works out. It's all in plans, right? So it's achievable. It can't be done now, but I can realistically say I can do it within this time. And so knowing that I can do it within this time, I know there's some work to do. Sometimes we're saying, oh, I want this, and we think it's going to fall out the sky. Baby, I wish it would at all times, but that's just not what we got, right? So then we want it to be relevant. Does it align with our vision? If we put Jamaica is where we want to go, we're not going to be booking flights to Alaska, y'all. We're going to be booking flights and getting the information on Jamaica. If it's a business that we want to start, we're not going to be looking for 9 to 5, y'all. We're going to be looking for avenues and resources to help start that business. If being an entrepreneur, because it is a little difference between being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. If it's an entrepreneur that you want to be, then you're not going to be out there looking for 9 to 5s. It's contract where we move a little bit different. Time bound. Set the departure date. When do you want to go? If you don't put a date to it, then again, you're going to be, I'll go one day. Do you really want to go or not? If you want to go to Jamaica, go ahead and put in the chat bar, Jamaica, like trip or something. Put something there to let me know that we finna travel to Jamaica, because I don't know about you, but I'm going to Jamaica. Okay. I'm going to set a date, because that's part of the goal. Part of the goal is to actually set a date. So I'm going to set a date. And then we're going to have faith, because there's going to be some moments that I know there's going to be some roadblocks. So I may have to take a little detour. Traffic may be a little backed up. Flights may be a little bit delayed. And in those moments, that's where faith is going to have to stand in place. Business deals or connections that you want may not come when you're wanting them, or when you want to see them, or whatever the thing is, there is going to be some distractions that may come in the place. So I'm warning you ahead of time, because I don't want you to think that, when I go, Coach Tawanda said, write that thing down and everything gonna happen. Coach Tawanda did say, write that thing down and everything gonna happen, but she did not say that it will not come with distraction, and she did not say that it may not come with some little delays and things of that nature. So in those moments, being that we know, and I'm saying that it will come, that's what we got to stand on faith. We got to see it before we see it. Let's go, B. We got to see it before we see it. In this process, we're not going to compare what we got going on to what somebody else got going on. Okay, if they said that they was going to Jamaica next month, and this month that they going to Jamaica, you don't know how they doing. You don't know if they've been start planning it. You don't know how their life looks. So you cannot compare what you have to what somebody else have, because the journeys are totally different. Y'all may not even be going on the same date, the same time, the same location in Jamaica, like all those things. So it's a lot that goes in place. So stop looking at what your neighbor doing, and let's focus on what we doing. If we focus on what we doing and what we got going on, we going to be able to get to where we're going. But if we're focused on what our neighbors got, or what people doing, social media and all that stuff, then you're going to get a little bit distracted. Then you're going to be sitting like, oh, I can't do that. Of course you can't do it, because it wasn't in your plans in the beginning. You said that you was going to do it, and you already had set a time to say you're going to do it next year. So why is you worrying about who going this year? Okay. And then if you didn't set the time and then worrying about what somebody else doing, then you out of order. Go ahead and set your time and set your intentions on what you want, because again, like I say, I don't know about you, but I'm going to Jamaica. For you that don't know me, and for you that do, I am Tawanda. I am a certified and called personal development and goals coach. I am an author, and I am the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. Throughout the last couple of weeks, we started by shifting our mindset. We had to shift our mindset to be able to step into a new position, right? And so once we shifted our mindset, now we are working on actually visioning our life. We're going to vision our journey. There are some things that we are desiring to have. There's some things that we want, but we are afraid to actually set our mind to it. We're afraid to actually have them as a vision or a goal, put goals to it so we can actually achieve it. So what we're doing is allowing ourselves to be in space to where we're not getting out of life what we really deserve or really desire. So again, we shifted our mindset over the last few weeks. So if you've been here, if you've heard me, you probably like, okay, what is she talking about? I was preparing you for what we're actually, for this journey. We are visioning our journey. So we started out by shifting our mindset, because we are holding on to things, limited beliefs and things of that nature that's keeping us from moving forward to living the life that we really desire to live. Good morning, Miss Kindness. How are you? So in the last few weeks, and we took a few weeks to do the shift of the mindset, because that is very important. Some of us have been living with negative thoughts and limited beliefs and all those things for a very long time. So we took a little bit more time to sit and shift in the mindset, about 2-3 weeks. And now that we shifted the mindset, now we're working. Yesterday, the assignment was, what's your vision? What's the one thing that you want to do? You can have multiple. It's up to you. You know what your life is. Like I said, I have boards all around. I have 5-year goals. I have year goals, 3-year goals. I have all the things, and I work towards them. So yesterday we was talking about vision. One of my visions is to go to Jamaica. So today what we're doing, we are preparing to go to Jamaica. I will see y'all next year in Jamaica. I hope y'all got it on y'all list to go to Jamaica and go ahead and, get things prepared. Because what I'm doing is going to walk you through the process of getting to Jamaica, getting to that place or that thing. But it may not be Jamaica for you. It's Jamaica for me. It may be a business for you. It may be a house for you. It may be a new job or new career for you. It may be going to school for you. It may be something, I don't know what it is. That was your assignment to figure out what it was yesterday, so that we can come back today and we can go ahead and start aligning ourselves to put a goal in place. So Jamaica was my thing. Jamaica is, I'm not just going to go to Jamaica. I want to go to Jamaica. I'm going to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just going to have it as a thought, and I'm going to take that thought. I'm going to take that vision, and I'm going to put a plan on it. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a song that came to my mind. Put a praise on it. But I said, put a plan on it. Y'all don't mind me. Y'all know what I do. I have those moments where I would laugh at myself. So again, Yesterday, we got our vision. So today, we want to understand that vision is the destination, goals are the direction. So if you're going somewhere, if you're going on a trip, you're going to have to put a destination in the GPS. Where are you going? What's that business? What's that? So then when you put it in a GPS, there's going to be some things you have to. If you're going to Jamaica, you're not just going to wake up and just go. You got to plan. You got to have a passport. You got to book the flights. You got to know the destination and where you're actually going. You got to pack your bags. It's a lot of things that take place, and that's just our goals and visions. It cannot be Jamaica. It can be something else. Whatever it is, if it's a vision, the vision has to have goals to go with it so that we're able to achieve that thing that we're looking to achieve, right? So if you didn't catch it before, you can write down now, go back and review it, and then write it down. You want to write down vision sets the direction. Goals create the path, and discipline keeps us on track. Then we're going to talk about the SMART goals. As I've stated, I didn't know about the SMART goals until I knew about the SMART goals. And when I actually break my goals down in this aspect, it makes it clear, it makes it more achievable, and I know where it is I'm going. So what we're going to do, we're going to be specific. We just can't say we want to go somewhere nice. We are being so vague with the goals and the vision that we have. That's why we're not getting to where we want to go. We can't say we just want to go somewhere nice. We can't say we just want a lot of money. How much money? Where's that nice? I'm going to Jamaica. That's where I'm going. I'm going to Jamaica. So I am clear and intentional about where I'm going. Measurable. How are we going to measure that we're getting closer? Well, when I get to that $500 mark, because I'm going next year, so I have to save. So when I get to that 500 mark, I'm moving towards the goal. I went from 0 to 500. That's some steps. It can be 0 to 100. You can have $100 in there, whatever it is, but make it measurable for you. When you see this, you know you're closer to this, and that's the progress. That's measurable, and then it want to be achievable. If it can't happen right now, y'all, it's okay. What if you got to put it on a 2-year goal? Okay, put it where you know that you can achieve it. All right. Tomorrow we will be talking about breaking it down so I can help you actually put the finances together to do what you need to do. But today we're going to really figure out what we want to do, right? And it's going to be achievable. Can you realistically make this trip? I feel like anybody that want to go to Jamaica can go to Jamaica. You might can't go to Jamaica today. Next year may be a little bit too much, but why you can't go to year after? Why you can't give yourself 2 years to plan? It don't matter. You cannot look at what somebody else doing because you see people always going to Jamaica. Oh, I just want to go quick, but that's not realistic for you though. Can we stay within our space, in our lane? We want to make it relevant. Does the goal that you have, the vision that you had yesterday, does your goal align with it? So if yesterday you visioned that you want to start a business, but today you start putting goals together, and one of your goals is looking for a 9 to 5, you're out of line, you're out of order. If today if yesterday I say I'm going to Jamaica, today I'm not going to be looking up a trip for Alaska. That's out of line. It's not aligned with your vision. So sometimes we get scared in the process and we think, I'm just going to go over here because Jamaica look a little bit too high. I don't care what it is, I'm going. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it, right? So when you think about your vision, the reason we write them down, the reason we post them on board so we can stay focused, because there's some things that's going to come that's going to be a distraction. And so again, we want to make them relevant. We want our goals to match our vision, and then time bound. When we going to do it by? We are around here saying, I want to go. I would like, there's just like, I'm going to Jamaica. When you going? I'm going one day. No, I'm going to Jamaica and I'm going to go next year. I'm going to go to Jamaica November the 11th, 2026. I'm going to put a time on it, because if I put a time on it, then again, I have something I'm working towards. If I put a time on it versus saying, I just want to go, I'm not going to really be planning nothing. But if I say I want to go then, or at this time, then guess what? I'm going to be putting a plan together because I want to meet that deadline. So you have to put a date on it. Other than that, you're just going to keep saying, I'll go one day. I'm going to go one day. One day I'm going to make it over there. No, November the 11th, 2026. Who going to Jamaica with me? We going? Yes, let's go. Let's go, B. Let's go. And then we want to have faith. I don't care what nobody say. You do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do, but I am not moving. My foundation is going to be faith. The reason my foundation is faith, because it's unshakable. You know what I'm saying? And in those moments where my faith is not as strong, but God all said, just have a little space of a mustard seed. This is my mustard seed, just saying I want to go. Just saying I want to go to Jamaica is my mustard seed. So I'm going to give it to him and let him do what needs to be done. The reason faith is important in setting the vision, because first of all, the vision, it don't really come from us. It's already there, you know? And so the reason it's important to have faith, because along on this trip, there's going to be some distraction. That life is on to be life. It's life going to always life. Something may not work out. There may be unexpected, events that happen in life. But if we stay focused on what the goal is, what the vision is, then we're going to stay focused in faith. So where, something may come through, we may lose a job. Lord, you see these folks, I lost this job. I don't know what it is that you got preparing for me, but I'm going to trust that you're going to work it out, because my vision is to go here. So I'm going to stay on track with here. I'm not going to go, I'm not going to get scared, because we can get scared. We can get scared, and then we can start comparing. We're not going to compare what we got going on to what somebody else is doing. We going to stay in our lane. So if we're going to Jamaica and you see the traffic is heavy, there may be an accident, we waiting in 2-hour traffic, there may be a detour, or because you see that detour, or because you see that traffic, are you really finna turn your car around and go home? You going home because you see. And so that's why it's important to have faith, because when those distractions come, when those roadblocks come, when those detours come, sometimes some of us are getting scared. So when we out there trying to put that business together, and then something's not working out, we didn't get that loan that we wanted, that ain't the only loan that you can get. So when we're in a position, but what happened is, when we're in a position that we're not standing on faith, we can get scared because we see that traffic or those detours, and we turn around and go home. This is not the season for us to turn around and go home. We're not going to abort the mission. We're going to stay on course. So we're going to have faith. I don't know about you, but those moments that the GPS be recalculating, and you be like, have you ever been? Now, I've actually been, no lie, I've been in an area where my GPS just would not work, baby. Let me tell you what I did. I didn't know. I am bad with directions when it comes down to being on the road. I got myself there, but I wasn't really paying attention because the GPS was getting me there. So here it is. It's now not working. And I got to figure out how to get up out of here until it come back on. Baby, I have been out there on that road at times. And I'm like, okay, Lord, you see your ways ain't working, Lord, because you direct my path. And I actually start making turns to get me to back to the main road. I couldn't tell you how to get there before. I was lost. You know what I'm saying? So that happens in moments. So when the GPS is recalculated, we got to have what? We got to have faith. So now that we know what we're doing, I want you to take a moment, grab your own journal, and then here's write down 3 major goals. If I'm going to Jamaica, see, I already got my passport. It's just like a checklist. So if I'm going to Jamaica, if you ain't got your passport, we'll just use that. So you're going to Jamaica, what's your passport step? Something you need to prepare. It may not be Jamaica. I'm just telling you, I'm going to Jamaica. I want you to think about the vision that you had on yesterday. So that's what we're going to set a goal to. What's your passport steps? What do you have to do to prepare to get your passport? Call down there to the post office. See what the cost is. I think it's $100 and something. See what the cost is. See what the process. See what you got to have down there. Once you get those things and you go get your passport, it's just that simple. But if you just say, "Oh, I want a passport," but then you don't see what the steps is or what it requires to actually get the passport, how you gonna get to Jamaica? So your steps and your goals are very important when it comes down to your vision. What's your ticket? Your ticket to Jamaica is the investment or the directions that you need to make. I mean, the decisions, not direction, decisions. It's the decisions that you need to make. That's your ticket. What do you have to do? You have to go get this ticket. You have to do this business plan. You have to go apply for this loan. Whatever it is that you set your mind to, that's your ticket. What are you packing? What would you pack? Because you got to have clothes if you're going to Jamaica. And me and my girl over there, we be liking to go and buy a whole new wardrobe for a trip. We got to stop that though, because we do too much. We go on a cruise and we thinking somebody gonna see us, and we trying to buy new clothes and stuff. This last time I just moo that thing on out. Them whole 5 days, baby, moo every day. I'm like, I ain't buying no new wardrobe. But again, what are you packing? Your daily actions, your mindset shift needs to start now. What are you doing now? That's you packing your bag. What do you need to do now? And what do you have to allow you to be able to travel this journey. That's all we're saying. We are packing our bags. And what are we going to pack? What daily action steps or mindset shifts that you need to help you along this journey? Write them clearly and keep them visible. That's why I do vision boards, because Habakkuk 2:2 also tells us, write down the vision on tablets, make it plain so he who sees it can take and run with it. So I keep it because it keeps me focused. I know what it is I'm doing. I know I'm going to Jamaica, so I got Jamaica on my board. And then I have another board that say, okay, these are the things that I need to do to get to Jamaica. Tomorrow, we're going to talk for those that like, okay, because you got to understand, we are doing this without having the money in the bank right now. So tomorrow, we're actually going to put a plan in place to help us actually get the money and get things in place so that we can go on the trip. Every action you take is 1 mile closer to your destination. Every action you take is 1 mile closer to your destination. Actually, we already got a vision for summer 2026. So we got to talk about our dates. You said summer. Actually, when I saw you put summer up there, I was like, ain't we doing something in summer already? We gonna have to reconvene that thing, right? But what we're doing, so again, yesterday we talked about vision. Your assignment, if you didn't do it, was what's your vision? Think about one goal, or not the goal. Think about the vision that you have, whether it's to start a business. Do you want to buy a house? Are you working on mindset? Are you taking a trip? Are you working in a community? Are you building relationships? What is it, that vision, that thing that you want? And then what we did was actually today, we're setting goals to it. We are in a position to see not only, okay, this is what we want, but how are we going to get it? There are things that we got to do. So if we put the directions in the GPS, there are things we got to do. We got to start the car. We actually got to get out the house and start the car. And if we don't go start the car, then we ain't going nowhere. Okay. So again, your assignment for yesterday was to come up with your vision. You do it. I did mine. I told y'all today mine was Jamaica, right? And then we have to put a plan together. I don't know about you, but I've already started working on a plan. I just got to get with my girl and we got to set a date, because that's one of those things. We got to put a time on it, right? So again, any questions? Y'all got it? Y'all get it? So who going to Jamaica? Or who building that business? Or who buying that house? Or who getting that car? Or who doing that thing? Who's walking in purpose? Who's starting the organization? Who's doing that thing? What is it that you're doing? And how are we going to get there? Well, I just told you. Go back again and look at the last few weeks. I started off and I was talking about mindset. What I was doing was building us up to where now when we get our mindset in the right place, then we can start visioning our journey. And then when we vision our journey, we can't just vision our journey. We actually have to put some things in place. They're considered goals. And then we put goals in place. There's also still steps. So today was just day 2. We got 5 days. This week, I am doing what I do with my coaching clients to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. I'm just here sharing a few tips. Again, we worked on mindset, because anything that we do, we have to shift our mindset. So if we've been thinking from a limited belief mindset, like who was raised in that era where money don't grow on trees? We heard that a lot, right? Money, these kids think money grow on trees. That was a scarcity mindset that just stated it wasn't enough, right? And so for me, when I look out, man, y'all can, this is just how I look at it. When I look out that door, I see a lot of trees. So if money is made from paper is made from trees. There's a lot of trees, so then there's a lot of money. We just got to shift our mindset to get to it. So it's not a lack. It's only a lack when we allow ourselves to think or feel that there's a lack. There is enough to do what we need to do, but if we don't think there's enough for us, then of course we're not going to get it. Remember also one of the weeks that we was talking about, we standing in the line. We are standing in the line waiting for our name to be called for the blessing that we have already called out for, the vision that we had already set. So it's the mindset. We are going to shift our mindset, because if we shift our mindset, that's really what it takes. Look, you can shift from not knowing that you can actually afford going to Jamaica to actually knowing that you can afford going to Jamaica. It's the shift mind. You telling yourself what you can or cannot do. It don't matter about the expectations that other people set on you. What matters is the expectations and the limitations that you set on yourself. So we are not limiting ourselves. I don't know what your vision is. I'm just talking about Jamaica, y'all, because I'm going to Jamaica, right? Every goal that we write, it turns into the GPS. it's moving us closer to our destination. So again, allow yourself to be in a space to understand that thing, that what you need, you're going to have it. Now, I'm not here to fool or lie to nobody. There are going to be moments that there's going to be distractions coming. That's why we need our faith. That's why we got to have something, a foundation. The vision is not the foundation. Faith is the foundation. Faith is the foundation. Vision, that vision is that we building a house at that point. The foundation, you already know. You got to have a foundation before you go put the walls up. So don't just dream about Jamaica. Don't just dream about writing a book. Don't just dream about starting a business. Don't just dream about going to school. Plan the route, book the ticket, start the journey. Tomorrow, we will move into day 3, preparing for the journey, counting the cost, and building the plan. That's where we talk about how to fuel your trip, budgeting your time, budgeting your money, and your mindset to go from where you are to where you want to be. Again, for those that know me and those that don't, I am Tawanda. I am Coach Tawanda. I am called and certified personal development and goals coach. I am also an author, and I am the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. You can catch me on YouTube or Spotify. If you want to connect with me, there's a link in my bio. Feel free to reach out. I do have a 30-minute consultation call, but I also have programs. I have tools. I have journals. I have all the things that will be needed that you can utilize to help you get in the right step. But if you don't know what it is you need, come talk to me and I'll help direct you to where you need to go. So listen, I have enjoyed y'all today. Thank y'all so much for taking the time out yesterday for yourself to actually set a vision, what it is that you want to do. And thank you for taking the time for yourself today to actually start working on putting a plan in place so that you can get what it is that you want to get. I will meet y'all here tomorrow at 7 a.m. and tomorrow, because what we're going to do is start really preparing for the journey, because we know we got the vision. We know there's some preparation. We know that we need certain things. That's the goals. The goals, we need certain things, but how do we actually, then we have to prepare. So how do we actually get there? We have to prepare. So when we got the goals in place, so we know we're going to Jamaica, we need a passport, we need the tickets, we need a destination, we need to know what we're going to be wearing, all the things. So we know we have those things. Tomorrow, we are going to start preparing. So thank you again. I'll see you here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Don't forget to like, share, and follow if you've not done it already. And y'all can go ahead and just tap that little thing up there on TikTok and show a little girl a little love. Give me a heart if you like what I'm talking about. Also, again, check the link in my bio. There is some resources from a couple of weeks ago to help you walk through the mindset shift. So you can put yourself in a position so you can work on living the life you desire to live, not just the life you're living and surviving in. I love y'all. Have an amazing day on purpose, and I will see y'all here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Again, I'm Coach Tawanda, a certified and called personal development and goals coach. I am an author, and I'm also a podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. I love y'all. Have an amazing day on purpose. Be safe, be warm, and go get it.